Hey guys, don't allow anxiety or depression to be um, something as a downfall, something to hold you back. Instead, just learn from it. Hey man, it's your boy James Wise and tuning in, man, with another video, man. Shout out to everybody that's watching my videos, that's been staying in tune with the kid. I got some more videos coming out soon, but I wanted to hit y'all with just a message today. And it's basically just don't allow anxiety or depression to be able to hold you back. I know that sometimes us as humans we tend to suppress our emotions because sometimes, man, we grow up in an environment to where we feel like we got to hold everything in, and just by us being tough and just by us having pride, sometimes like that can be our downfall because we don't talk to nobody, we don't ask for help. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't ask for the stuff that we need in our lives for us to become better humans. And I feel like anxiety and depression it's just forms of emotions. But I feel like most of the time we kind of internalize those emotions too personally to the point to where they become our personality and they become our identity. And sometimes your emotions can take control of who you really are. And why I'm making this video right now is because there's a lot of people out there that struggle with mental health, whether it's like hoopers, whether it's athletes, whether it's like whatever professional field you in, like just the personal battle that you fighting that you don't want to tell nobody. I'm just here to tell you that, man, like I honestly, like I've been through those battles. Like I've been through those battles to where like I've been through those hard times, especially for myself. But how I got through those times was just by me not only internalizing it, because the negative side of that was like I really put myself in the bind just by me suppressing my emotions. But I feel like me helping, and me not only helping others but helping myself, and just going out and just actually reaching out to people and just venting, like venting and actually getting your emotions out. But this video is gonna be about all the people that struggle with that, and like I'm gonna just help y'all and just give y'all a few steps on how to not suppress your anxiety and depression, and how to see it from a different perspective. One thing I do want to talk about is, man, first of all, depression is just something that we suppress. Depression is thoughts that we suppress because we don't want to allow the other person to see us at our lowest. And I get it, man. Sometimes when we go through something or when we go through a certain emotion, we tend to want to internalize it and want to keep it for ourselves and want to personalize that. But man, at the end of the day, the more you suppress those emotions, the more you suppress those thoughts, the worse you're going to become, because you go feel down about yourself and you go feel like not nobody's in your corner. You go feel alone. You go feel that loneliness. That's gonna seep in your spirit, and you don't want that to seep in your spirit because it creates bitterness. It creates jealousy. It creates a form of you wanting to compete with others, and it just creates a lot of just a lot of negative emotions that you don't want to go through. Now, first, like let me get into anxiety. I feel like anxiety is just a form of excitement. Like y'all remember, I mean, y'all know when y'all go to a certain event or when y'all have a certain basketball game or just anything, and you may feel like this sense of excitement, but it may be a form of like nervousness. Trust me, I've been down that road before and I know how I feel, but at the end of the day, it's only you excited about what you know that you're capable of. And I feel like I feel like anxiety, just emotions in general, is just how you view it. It's how you look at it. Like anxiety, you can choose to look at it as a form of nervousness, but really it's all just a form of excitement. It's all just it's all you knowing. Like it's anxiety is basically just you knowing that you have what it takes and you're capable of completing that certain task. But just by you worried about the outcome so much and be fixated on the results that you want to get, normally when we put expectations on stuff and when we tend to don't accomplish it, then that creates disappointment, and it creates disappointment in ourselves, and it creates a disapproval in ourselves. And I feel like anxiety can create a form of depression, and I feel like both of those emotions and feelings are identical and they're interconnected, because as soon as you feel that form of anxiety come up, and when you feel like, yeah, I can do this, I am capable of doing it, but I'm just afraid of what if this experience or this outcome don't fixate to where I want it to be? Or what if this outcome don't become the outcome that I wish that it's always been or that I envision it to be? And most of the time when we fixate our minds on outcomes so much and the stuff that we want to accomplish, we tend to mostly we be disappointed because we tend to put kind of too much expectations on something that we want to accomplish, or we kind of put too much standards. And at the end of the day, it's never bad to put standards and put emotions on a certain fixated outcome that you want to create. Like, everybody want to have a great outcome all the time, and I agree with that, and I completely understand. But you also got to realize that most of the time, those fixated results that you looking for, that you envision yourself getting, and sometimes or most of the time when it don't happen, you can't give up on yourself. And not only can you give up on yourself, but you can't let yourself down, and you can't be so disappointed in yourself to where you just feel like you're worthless. And I feel like when you get to that state of mind, that's when depression comes, that's when anxiety comes, that's when all of these emotions come, because you just allow yourself to be able to get sunk in this low sense of place so much that you just tend to feel like that you're not worth it, or you tend to look at yourself in a low self-image type of perspective, and you just tend to not view yourself in a higher light. And why I want to bring up anxiety and depression is because, man, anxiety most of the time is just a form of excitement. Like, we all are capable of accomplishing whatever we want to accomplish, but just being able to look at yourself in the mirror and to know that, hey, I'm not going to allow this depression to get me down. Instead, I'm going to learn from it. I'm going to learn from the root of my problems in terms of my spirit, in terms of what I'm going through, and I'm going to sort it out, and I'm going to figure it out, and I'm going to go ask for help. And not only ask for help, but I'm going to give myself that time and figure out what do I got to do to better myself. And y'all, I'm trying to tell y'all, man, depression is something that you go through when you are allowing so many external approvals and validations to validate you, to the point to where you don't even feel like you even have the power to validate yourself. And like, I feel like when you get in that state of mind, when you get in that headspace, and that's when you feel like you less than, that's when you feel like you're not capable, that's when you feel like you don't have control over your life. And instead you allow depression and anxiety and these suppressed emotions to suppress your personality, to suppress who you really are, to suppress your true potential. And man, just let it go, man. Just let all that stuff go, because at the end of the day, well, like, we only got one life. And just being able to not only suppress your thoughts or your emotions, because that's the worst thing to do, especially to internalize them, because it'll damage you in a negative way. But instead, look at it not only in a way of, okay, I may feel this way. Okay, so always combat that. Okay, I may feel this way. I may feel this certain emotion. How do I overcome it? How do I fix this emotion? And how do I get help on this emotion? And trust me, man, I know we grow up in environments to where we may feel like, man, we got to tough it out, and we got to kind of like keep it in. And I understand that, because most of the time throughout my journey, like, I go through that too. You know, like, I try to keep stuff in and just keep it pushing and just keep going. But at the end of the day, man, all that stuff will come back to bite you, man. Like, it'll come back and it'll make you feel even worse about yourself. So make sure y'all stay self-aware of the emotions that y'all have, and the emotions that y'all keep inside of yourselves, and make sure that y'all go not only tell other people, but, man, really fix it, man. Fix it within God, fix it within the Lord, and fix it within yourself, because at the end of the day, it's only going to down your truest potential. It's not going to make it better. So you just worrying about something that's making you feel depressed, or that's making you feel you're not worth it, it's only going to cause you to just go below water even more, you know? So make sure y'all go out here and talk to people if y'all struggling with anything. But anxiety, man, is just a form of excitement, and it's just something that you like. I feel like anxiety is really a perception. Like, if you perceive anxiety as a form of excitement, which it is 100% of the time, because when you feel anxiety, you feel a form of excitement, but you view it as nervousness. And sometimes, man, most of the time, nervousness is good, because you get the best out of yourself. Because the more nervous you are, the more you're able to not only navigate through it, but just being able to be self-aware and catch on to it. I feel like what helped me in my journey in terms of me being able to stabilize, myself as a human and stabilize myself going throughout my journey is just being self-aware of when those emotions come and just giving those emotions space and being able to not only don't avoid those emotions but feel those emotions. Like don't run away from it and be afraid of it, but just take it all in and just realize that, man, you human and that you're not perfect. But at the end of the day, those emotions and those anxieties, man, like the more you suppress them, the worse it get. The more it permeates through your spirit, and the more you're not gonna feel like yourself. But just being able to talk to somebody, to your friends, or people that's around you, or being able to journal. Like I said, journaling is very important. Meditating and doing different things that can allow you to have more peace in your solitude, and to be able to have more peace in your alone time, and to be able to not view your emotions as something that you can't control. Like, you can't control your emotions. You can't control the things that you want to accomplish in your life. But the more you suppress your emotions and the more you suppress your depression, your anxiety, the more you be so fixated on emotions, or the more you be fixated on just results that you want, and you just constantly disappoint yourself. Like, don't put so much expectations on things. Like, just let the result go, and just give it all you got. Whether it's in your professional field, whether it's you trying to work on yourself and give yourself more self-compassion and grace, and don't criticize yourself so much. And the third thing I'm gonna say is don't self-criticize yourself so much. Sometimes we can self-criticize ourselves so much because we're perfectionists, but not even looking at it in such a perfectionist standpoint, but just looking at it as a standpoint to where you're really beating yourself up and you're really being self-critical about yourself so much that you don't even give yourself self-compassion and grace to be able to maneuver and to be able to go through those emotions and actually feel them, and don't feel some type of way because you feel like you shouldn't have this emotion. Like, why should I feel depressed? Like, why should I feel this type of anxiety? Like, why am I feeling this? The more you question yourself about your emotions, the more it's going to get worse. The more you feel your emotions and be aware of your emotions, but don't allow them to take over who you are, and don't allow them to be able to take over your day, take over your mood, and just your vibe as a whole, the better you're going to become just as a person, not only as a person in your craft, but just really as a human being, man. Like, just being able to have that emotional stability and just being able to have that emotional health is important. So people out here that's struggling with anxiety and with depression, man, don't be so fixated on the results, the stuff that you want in your life. Just give it all you got, and just trust that it will work. Second thing is stop criticizing yourself so much. The more you self-criticize yourself, the more you're suppressing your thoughts, your emotions, and the more you're not allowing yourself to feel those emotions. The more you're just being a robot, and you just allowing and like you just feeling like that your emotions that you're going through shouldn't be happening. And the more you think that way, the more disappointed you become, the more sadness you will feel, and the more I say really just the more you just feel down about yourself, So, bruh, just let all that stuff go. Let it go. Let go of all the stuff that you feel like that you're holding on to so much, because attachment can be toxic as well. Being attached to stuff too much. Just give yourself space, man, and just detach from a lot of things, because the more you detach from a lot of things that's bothering you, the better you're going to become. And not only the better that you're going to become as a person, but the more room and space you're going to have for the stuff that you really want, for the goals that you want, for the goals that you set for yourself. The more space you're going to be able to create for those goals and for those visions that you see for yourself, So, man, but give yourself that space from your emotions, but don't avoid it. Make sure you feel those emotions, and make sure you give yourself self-compassion and grace as you keep going throughout this journey, especially just having that emotional stability. And yeah, man, like, it's hard out here. It's hard to control your emotions sometimes, but at the end of the day, the more you change your perception and your perspective on how you feel about your emotions, the better you go be, and the better off you go be for your future, and for your future self as well. This is James Wiseman, tuning out. Peace.